Hey everybody, this is Pat Collins, aka the Big PH, and I know it's been a long time since I've been on the old YouTube channel. I'd say about 6 months since I did my last Raw review. So, let's just get it started, let's just get it cracking right now, right here. Okay, so, Raw took place on the March 3rd, 2014. We're about 39 days to WrestleMania. And I'm telling you, man, business is starting to pick up. Now, let's go with the pre-show first. This is the first time that they mentioned CM Punk by name in about a month since he left. So, I, of course, like every other mark in the entire world, thought that CM Punk was making his comeback that night in Chicago. And we were all wrong. So it starts off with CM Punk's music hitting, da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, crowd going crazy, everybody going wild, and who comes out but Paul E. Heyman. And he's got a little story about CM Punk. He talks about how CM Punk was the best in the world, but everything got all discombobulated in his head when the fans tried to hijack CM Punk from Paul Lee. And you know who else's fault it was? Because Paul Lee is obsessive. It is also The Undertaker's fault. Because The Undertaker whooped all up and down on CM Punk on last year's WrestleMania. So that's why he's not here anymore. He doesn't want to be here. Because it's my fault, it's your fault. Who really knows? I think it's Triple H's fault personally. But that's another story for another time. So Paul Heyman comes out. He does his little pipe bomb promo, sits down with the microphone. It does his thing. Whatever. But he leaves. Punk should. I think Punk will be back. Maybe next week, maybe the week after that, maybe after WrestleMania. But I am for sure that he's coming back. Especially now that they actually mentioned his name on TV. So Brock comes out, and I don't know why they even have Brock Lesnar talk. Because if you have Paul Heyman, why are you going to have Brock Lesnar come out there and say anything? So Lesnar he speaks the same old promo, I'm going to be the one to beat the streak. I'm going to conquer the streak. Blah, blah, blah. I've been hearing the same shit for 22 years, and ain't no one beat The Undertaker yet, and I doubt that Brock's going to be the one to do it. So, who comes out? Marky Mark. Big old Mark Henry. So, he about to whoop on Brock Lesnar, right? Wrong. So, we are 10 minutes to the start of Raw, and Brock Lesnar F5s Mark Henry through the table. And then they end up fixing the table by the end of the night, but hey. For a minute there, that shit was broken, and it was awesome. So the next, we got our first match. Like, man, Raw is hype this week. They just start out, bam, bam. First match for the tag team titles, Usos versus the New Age Outlaws. This is a pretty good match. The New Age Outlaws, they played the heels really well, and the Usos, they came out victorious. It was what the fans needed. This is what the WWE needed to do to make sure that the fans didn't shit all over Raw the entire episode. And sure, there was CM Punk's chants galore, but not as many as I thought there would be, and I think one of the reasons for that was the fact that they had the Usos win the tag team championships at the beginning of the night. So therefore, the fans aren't as pissed off as they could be. But they're still pretty pissed. But the Usos win the tag team championship. At the end of the night, they dedicated it to Yokozuna and Umaga and Rikishi, all the family members that they've had in the business, which they deserve it. And I'm glad, and I hope they get a good run with these belts. Next, Cesaro versus Big E. This is actually like a two-part match because Cesaro versus Big E, and Jack Swagger runs in, gets the DQ. Big E wins, and then Cesaro and him are kind of thinking about breaking up. Later in the evening, Swagger faces Big E, and the same thing happens, but in reverse. Cesaro comes in, DQs, Big E wins 2 matches in one night. Oh yeah. So, Big E wins 2 matches, and the real Americans look like they're going to break up, but Zeb Coulter makes him hug it out. And they hug like this. They hug like this. Real, like, yeah, real homies. We men, we don't hug like that. We hug like that. So, and then one of my favorite parts of the night was the Shield versus the Wyatts. Now, this is just a random thought. Anyone that paid for the Elimination Chamber, I bet they're pretty pissed, because over the past 2 weeks, we've had basically every single match except for the Chamber match itself on free TV. So, the Wyatts versus the Shield. They put on a really good match. They had a good one at the Elimination Chamber. They had a good match tonight. But the difference of tonight is that the Shield, that Seth Rollins was the one that jumped off the ring apron and left his homies there hanging. And usually Seth Rollins is the glue of the group. So I really don't want them to break up. I know they're going to eventually. No team can stay together forever. This isn't the 1980s. This is not the Four Horsemen. But I don't want them to break up just yet. I think they should switch to being faces, and then they can switch, and then they can give them their singles run. WWE has to realize that they have lightning in a bottle with all three of these guys. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose. They're all main event stars if they push them right. But knowing WWE, they'll fuck it up. They always fuck it up. Okay, so Batista comes out. You know, he does his little promo. He's playing a straight asshole character. I'm glad they finally turned Batista heel, because him as a face was not working. No one was ever going to cheer him, and I'm glad they finally pulled their head out of their ass and realized that. So for the rest of the time that Batista's going to be here, he'll probably be a heel. After that, we got Summer Rae and Fandango. Against Santino Marella and Emma. Now, I love Emma. For any of you that watch NXT, Emma, already know that Emma is a great wrestler. She was trained by Lance Storm, but the problem they have her on Raw and SmackDown is they're making her just a comedy character. You know, just all about comedy. Like, if you have a female, if you have anyone that can actually wrestle in the ring and get it done in the ring, let them show it. Like that match with her and Paige on NXT Arrival, for the couple thousand people that actually watched it, like that was gold. That was probably one of the best matches, women or female matches, I've seen in a really long time from the WWE product. And they need to show that women aren't just sex symbols, and they aren't just comedy characters. They can actually be really good wrestlers. But hopefully they pull their head out of their ass with that one. Sheamus versus Christian, throwaway, whatever. I've seen it like 10 times in a week. I'm tired of it, whatever. And you know who else didn't care? The Chicago crowd definitely didn't care, because the CM Punk chants were going crazy during that match. So the Bellas versus Oksana and Alicia Fox. Now, 3 of those women can wrestle, and 1 is Alicia Fox. So it was all right, you know, short, decent, and I'm so sorry about that. I meant Oksana can't wrestle, and Oksana. Good thing she wasn't in the match for that long, so no one got hurt. Thank God for that. After that, we had a couple of big promos. We had Daniel Bryan and Triple H's big promo, which, you know, for people that always like to talk crap about Triple H, you know, he gets his 20 minutes in the ring, but at least he's sharing it with Daniel Bryan. Even if he is, you know, telling Daniel Bryan he's all kinds of B+ players and all kinds of midgets and all kinds of vanilla. You know, we know how this is going to turn out, hopefully. But, you know, what I took away from this promo is Triple H is a very possessive person. He said that he owns Daniel Bryan, he owns all the fans, he owns all the merchandise, he owns his wife, he owns his kids, he owns his house, his dog, he owns the company, he owns everything. So, Triple H needs to stop with the whole God complex, okay? I get it, he's God, but, you know, he doesn't need to act like it all the time. And then after that, you know, a little while after that, we had this thing with Aaron Paul. I'm not even going to touch on the thing with Aaron Paul. No, Aaron Paul. I didn't even watch it. I fell asleep for 10 minutes. Didn't even watch it. Okay. After that, we had Cena come out. And he said he has a love-hate relationship with the Chicago crowd. The Chicago crowd was shitting all over him. But he said if they want change, if they want to hijack, if they want change in the WWE, it's got to come through him. And I was just like, Cena's Jesus. I get it now. Triple H is God, and Cena is Jesus. So if you want to be saved, you have to go through Cena in order to get to Triple H. It makes sense up here if you think about it. You gotta think about it a little bit. Okay. But Bray comes out. Him and Bray Wyatt are doing a really cool thing together, and I think this is gonna end with Cena actually putting someone over besides Daniel Bryan, and I think he's actually gonna put Bray Wyatt over, and I think it's gonna be a hell of a match. But enough of that. Main event time. Daniel Bryan versus Batista in the main event. Randy Orton's at ringside. All they want, they're booing everything Batista does. They're calling him overrated. They're calling him a piece of whatever they're calling him. They're calling him all kinds of who's it's, what's it's, how's it's. I will tell you this though. Daniel Bryan almost walked away as the victor. And I think in the end, Daniel Bryan will walk away as the victor and he will be the champion at WrestleMania. That I'm throwing it out there right now. Daniel Bryan, WWE champion, WWE World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania 30. But the show comes to an end like this. Daniel Bryan hits the Batista almost gets RKO'd, but then he turns around, gets the knee by Daniel Bryan, and then Daniel Bryan gets Batista bombed, and then Triple H is standing over him like, I'm tired of your dreams. Like, whoa, how are you going to tell him not to dream? But he's like, I'm tired of your dreams. Oh, gets kicked right in the head. And this is why I think that Daniel Bryan's going to be ultimately come on top of this, because he keeps on losing and losing and losing and losing. So he's got to win sooner or later, right? Right? Please tell me I'm right. Please tell me I'm right. Okay. So, and then for those of you who actually have the WWE app, WWE Network, you got to watch the post show where it saw John Cena and Big Show come out and make the save, which, hey, it's kind of cool, you know, for people that actually invest in the app. It's very cool because, hey, you know, you get to watch a little something extra that no one else sees. So, to end it, you know, what did I think? What did I think of Raw? 34 days to Mania. I thought Raw was pretty good. You know, I think Raw, especially around WrestleMania season, I think everybody just steps up their game. You know what I mean? And everybody's doing a really good job. I think that the little things they got going. You know, I think the whole CM Punk storyline's coming to a head soon. I think what they got going on with the Shield, and even though I don't like the whole idea of breaking up tag teams, I thought we were trying to build up the tag team division, but I digress. You know, these people need to be stars. They need to be main eventers. So, all in all, good Raw. I'm hoping it's better next week. And yeah, you know what? I'm just glad to be back, everybody. I'm just glad to be back. Here, let me take this little homie. This is my little homie, Alex. He was recording this for me. He probably going to be my video man from now on. And this is the Big PH, a.k.a. Pat Collins, signing off. One more time, trying to be famous. Oh, yeah. Woo! Okay, deuces, pieces.